What's up, guys? This is Tyssassin, and welcome back to another episode. It's episode 16, and last time we put together this room. F5 modes. All the F5 modes. Yeah, we put together our end portal room and got rid of the cobblestone floor that was before. And yeah, it's looking a lot better. I like it quite a bit, and I think you guys must like it too, because you haven't complained, but... I think it's good. I have one thing that I'd like to do, and I'd like to ask you in the comments. Let me know if I should change these stairs right here, these ones right in front of me. I think maybe I should change them to something else. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. But today we're going to be working on a farm, a really amazing, awesome, super duper farm. But we got a little bit to do ahead of that. You see, I have a minor problem, and that's that I died recently. You might remember it was when I was building this thing, and I lost some stuff. Specifically, I lost my armor, and right now I have no respiration. I have no feather falling, and yeah, it's a sad world we live in. So what we're going to do is we're going to hang out at the Enderman farm for a little while. We'll do a little bit of an enchanting montage and hopefully get ourselves equipped a little better. So, cue the montage. I think we've done a heck of a job here. We've got a bunch of stuff. I've got myself equipped with some new boots and leggings and helmet, all with mending on them, and I've actually got a backup pair of each of those, and I also put together an extra chest plate. We have a couple extra picks. I got myself a looting sword without fire aspect, a couple more shovels, and even a new axe, which I accidentally had silk touch on, which I'm cool with. So yeah, it's time to roll out of here and get onto the project for today. So we've got a big farm to build, and I've got a bit of resource gathering to do ahead of time. There's a kind of a piece of that farm that is going to be a little bit costly. By costly, I mean we're going to need about 10 shulker boxes of sand, which, of course, we get sand over here in the desert near our awesome villagers that I was hanging out with earlier. There is a wee bit of a sand quarry around here somewhere. I find it with the line of cactuses that I have on the ground somewhere. It's around here somewhere. Found it. It's just right over this hill. So I think we need about 10 shulker boxes of sand. So I've grabbed just a whole bunch of shulker boxes. I think we'll aim for 12 shulker boxes, but yeah, I've got a lot of work to do. All right, just a quick progress update for you. We are, destroying this desert. And I'm down 2 shovels, but we have, I think, we have 4 shulker boxes to go. Almost done. All right, last sand blocks are going down. So I think we're all set here. Let's take a look. I'm pretty entertained by this desert here. So let's take one more look here. Oh man, we've cleared quite an area here, and really there's not a lot of desert left. But I've been thinking while I was doing this, it didn't take, by the way, as much time as I thought it would. While I was doing this, I was thinking, this is a great area. We could probably do something with this. So I have an idea, and I want to tell you about it, but I'm not going to yet. So I'll keep it to myself. But I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments, what would you do with a giant sand quarry like this when it's all done? Obviously, take out the sandstone and stuff, but What would you use it for? What would you make out of it? So let me know. I've got a little idea of something that we might put together someday out here in the desert. So, but for now, we're gonna head out. We're all done here. Actually, I'm gonna leave that right here. I've also grown my lane of cactuses, which is completely pointless but entertains me. So now you might be wondering what kind of farm we're gonna make, and don't worry, I'm going to tell you soon. But you might be thinking we're going to be dropping a whole bunch of sand in the ocean, which is sort of true, but we're not doing what you might be thinking. But instead, we're going to be smelting a ton of this sand into glass. So I need to put together my super duper smelter of doom that I had back at the base, and we're going to work on smelting some glass. All right, I dug a little area out here, and yeah, now we wait for a while. All right, all our glass is smelted now, and yeah, it takes a long time to smelt, what, 7 shulker boxes of glass. I've dyed them all light blue, and we're on our way to our location. I've also spent just an insane amount of time doing some other stuff. I had to get some gold, and I had to get some leaves and wood and all sorts of stuff. So this is quite the project. I spent a lot of time already. It's been a bit of a grindy episode. So, but we need some of these guys. So I'm glad that we stumbled upon them. But we're headed right out outside this swamp, I think. So a little bit more flying to do. I'm just gonna grab a few more of these little guys, and we'll be at our location. All right. Here we are, right here. Yep, the bottom of the ocean. So we've come to a deep ocean biome, and we're gonna have ourselves a little bit of fun here. First things first, we're gonna swim to the top. Swim! And we're going to place ourselves a lily pad right here so that we have some place to hang out. Yes, this is wonderful. So here we are. We're in quite the nice environment here in the deep ocean. And basically what we need to do now is flip on chunk grids, because this spot is in between, pretty close to in between a couple of chunks. We need to look north-south. Yep, perfect. So let me get back up on here. So these two chunks are slime chunks, and they are adjacent to one another, which is quite good for us. And it's going to make it very easy for us to make a pretty sweet farm. I wish I wasn't shaking around. Where'd my lily pad go? I lost my lily pad. Where is it? So yeah, we're gonna be utilizing these deep ocean biomes because there's a little bit of benefit here. There's not a lot of clearing that we're gonna have to do, which is great, and we have the advantage of being able to get rid of the water with some redstone, which is what we're going to be doing. So for right this second, I'm gonna go ahead and mark the borders of our chunks just so that I know where we're at. Hopefully we'll be able to mark them properly, and then we're going to go ahead and work on a giant glass wall. Now this glass wall is going to be bigger than these two chunks combined, quite a bit bigger actually. So we're going to be adding a little bit of extra room on every side for some redstone and item elevators and stuff like that. There's also some benefit to having these areas clear to the sky, because it will help with spawning of slimes. So that's kind of the goal here. Let me go ahead and work on these lily pads, and I'll mark out the area that we need to build. So give me just a couple minutes here. All right, there it is, the area that we need to clear out. So this is a 59 by 34 wall, which leaves us 57 by 32 inside. And yeah, now I need to bring this wall all the way down to the bottom. So I'm gonna bust out my ender chest, and I'm gonna see if I have any potions of water breathing. And if I don't, I'm going to probably make some. Oops. Potion box. Let's see. Do I have water breathing potions? I don't. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that because it's gonna make my life a lot easier. And yeah, so I guess we're just not gonna do that. Yep, we're gonna do it the hard way, because that's how you do it. We're gonna do it like the hard way. So here's the technique. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the walls or the corners first, And basically what I'm going to do is utilize torches to help me breathe. So I'm just going to show you that trick really quickly. So that way, if you're doing something like this, yeah, you'll be able to do it too. So a couple of things. The first thing here, these two chunks have no slime chunks in the vicinity, so that makes a huge difference for us. See, if I just put this right here, if you look at the little bubbles, actually I need to do it right here. Look at the little bubbles, right? There we go, I can breathe again. So what we're going to have here is two chunks that are isolated in the ocean, which means that there's no, not as much spawning. I'm going to assume with as high this ocean is, that there's probably some caves underneath it, which is a bit of a bummer, but we can dig down, and if we locate any caves, we'll light those up as well, because we want this to be as efficient as possible. Hence the reason for building a slime farm where there's two slime chunks next to each other, right? So yeah, let me work on getting this this framework in, this wall in, and then we're gonna have to work on some redstone. So gonna take a little a long time. Yeah, it's gonna take a long time, but we'll get working on it. All right, progress update. I've almost drowned about 3 times, and we're done with the short ends as of now. So yeah, I wish it was daytime out. Well, anyways, we're, I'd say a quarter of the way, third of the way done about. So I did think a little bit more about what we're about to do with the redstone and the clearing, and I'm actually going to have to do a little bit of work on this gravel that's down here. So we're going to be using flying machines to clear out water, and this will stop it. So at some point I'm gonna have to dig up all of that as well. But yeah, we're I think a shulker box and a half or 2 shulker boxes in. So yeah, a lot of work to do, and luckily I think I should have more than enough glass. So yeah, still working on it. All right, guys, so the walls are done, and I think you can really get an idea now of how massive this place is. So I've done one of these before. I don't think I mentioned it, but in a survival world that I played in for quite a while, I did a single slime chunk in the ocean, and it was a lot to deal with. I actually hand placed the sand. I didn't use any redstone or anything. Just wanted to kind of do it the old-fashioned way, and yeah, that's not what we're going to do here. Like I said, we're going to use some redstone to remove the water, and we're going to save ourselves an insane amount of time. So yeah, that's the cube in the ocean, or I guess it's not really a cube, but yeah, what we need to do now, and it's going to take a while, but I want to remove. It's kind of interesting, by the way. So if you have glass all the way from the surface of the water all the way to the bottom, right? The light goes through that glass and actually lights up the area down there. So it's kind of a cool, interesting look when there's ocean water down there. But anyways, I want to go down to wherever the bottom layer of the gravel is, which I think is going to be this layer right here. And I want to remove all of the gravel and stone and everything to that level. And that way, when we do the water removal, we'll be able to use the, we're going to be using slime block flying machines. And they'll be able to go all the way down to that level and remove all the water. Otherwise, we'd be looking at, 10 or 15 or something like that. That little square, nope, this little 3x1 right here. So it would get stuck there and stop, or at least one of the machines would, and then we'd have quite a few layers of water left to remove. So yeah, I don't want to do that. So instead, we're going to remove all this gravel by hand, and it's going to be some more under the ocean time for me, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. So that's the next step in the process here. Well, things are looking a lot more flat down there now, and yeah, it's time to start some redstone. So I've got that all flattened out. That'll make the flying machine's life a lot easier. So we're going to grab some sand. I kept 5 shulker boxes of sand over here, and we're going to be building a flying machine that was shown off by ilmango, and I don't think it was designed by him. I'll put the link in the description for the tutorial words. Basically, it's a flying machine that utilizes slime blocks and observers and updating pistons and all that to move a 8 wide object across the water, and it will remove or delete water blocks as it goes, and then it'll go over there. There's a station that will push it down 1 block. It'll come all the way back, removing water blocks, hit the station over here, go down another block, and so on. So it's going to go back and forth, and basically what we need to do is make it so that it has a station here that it can bounce against and go the other way. So there's a little design. I'm going to go, let's see, sand, glass, glass. I want a leaf block to be right here. 1, 2, 3. So there's going to be a leaf block here. And then we're going to go glass again. Woo! Glass, glass, glass. Like this. Or excuse me, not glass, but sand. And it's going to take a little while to do that. So I have a whole bunch of leaf blocks that I collected before you got over here. So there's maybe 3 blocks. Yep, that's good. So we're going to basically fill in this structure on both sides. So this is going to take me a little while. So yeah. Yep, I had the sand with me. So let me work on it here. That way you don't have to watch me place a whole bunch of sand. And then once I have it kind of started, I'll show you what it looks like. Of course, it has to be raining while I do this. Really? Yeah, this is the right way to do this. All right, so return station number 1 is put together. We got all of our bouncing back station things over there, and yeah, it's super frustrating to build flying machines above water. I don't recommend it. No, actually, I totally recommend it because it's going to make this water removal so much better. But that's kind of what it looks like. I won't explain what it does, but well, I'll explain briefly. What it does is this accepts the machine that's removing the water. It then pushes it down, and in turn itself moves down a block. So it's kind of a cool thing. Check out ilmango's tutorial on it. You can see a little bit more. And of course, when we run this thing, you'll see it too. So I got to build up 4 of these on each side, and I'm hopeful that I have enough slime blocks to make that happen. But in case I don't, I'm going to build its partner on the other side first, and that way we can build up as many of these as we can with the slime blocks that I do have, and then we'll run those and then rebuild them. So, but I have these are all the slime blocks in the world, including this secret stash that was in that yellow box. So hopefully we have enough, but we'll see. But yeah, I got a little bit of work to do, and then we're going to build the flying machine that goes with this pusher, downer, acceptor type of deal. I don't know, I'm not sure what these things are called, but we'll build the actual flying machine as well that goes in this lane, and I'll show that to you too. Well, do you want the good news or the bad news? The good news is I got carried away and I built all of these. The bad news is everything's a block too far that way, and it's a major problem, and I'm gonna have to rebuild it all. So I went ahead and built these things up, and I got to this end, and yeah, this thing can't fly through this glass. That's not possible, and I can't take that off because there's a slime block here. And more importantly is, in the end, I would have to remove the water on this entire side because there's a gap there, and I built this one first. Now, in ilmango's video, just in case you're gonna follow along and do this, I'm gonna just teach you really quickly what I did wrong. There's a sticky piston right here that he references off of to tell you where to place this observer. And I did all that right, but the thing I didn't do right is that there is a redstone block right there. See that redstone block? It's actually supposed to be up above this sticky or slime block there, which would move this entire arm of this over 1 block. And yeah, so now I have to go and rebuild all those arms, all these arms, which is probably the hardest part, and then rebuild all my flying machines. So yeah, I'll be back in a little bit. All right, guys, so we've adjusted the problem here, and you can see this all lines up nicely now. So looking pretty good and ready to do some serious water removal. So quite the contraption here. I actually realized when I was thinking about doing this redstone, I realized that it would actually be faster in the end if we built these on the long side, because the passes that they do would be shorter, so they get to the bottom quicker. But resource wise, it's a lot more expensive, especially when you don't have a slime farm. The closest thing I currently have to a slime farm is some slime chunks at my base and me killing them with looting swords. So yeah, thank goodness for that, because otherwise I'd be clearing all this water by hand. So yeah, major progress here at the future. I kind of want those ink sacs. Oh well. Major progress here at the future slime farm, but unfortunately I'm running out of time for this episode, and I think we're at a good stopping place, so I think we're gonna call it, guys. So, you know, next time, I know you want to see this thing run, and as do I can't tell you. I did get to see it, by the way, run just a little bit. I don't think I mentioned this in the prior clip, but there is some water right over here that's been disturbed slightly, and that's because if you don't place an immovable block, when you place this this observer right here, this thing's going to take off, and yeah, that means that it's going to push this whole machine down, which means you have to build the entire thing again, and then it went all the way over there. And yeah, luckily I keep a box of obsidian and stopped it, I don't know, like around 3/4 of the way or something like that. So I only had to rebuild one of these, but yeah, it was a nightmare. Don't do that. So yeah, hope you're enjoying my failures, and yeah, I hope you know that I show these to you because I want you to see the kind of mistakes that are possible. I could hide all the mistakes and all that, and yeah, I just don't think that's fair to you, because you're gonna make mistakes too, probably, if you built something like this. I've never built flying machines before, so this is all a new territory for me, and yeah, there's certainly mistakes that can happen. And unfortunately, with flying machines, when you make a mistake, it likely means you have to rebuild a whole thing, because when this thing moves down a block, it's no longer usable. When you put this flying machine there, you have to rebuild the whole thing up a block. There's no way to like reverse it, as far as I can tell. I mean, maybe there is. I don't think there is. As what I understand of the redstone, there's definitely not. So, but yeah, so guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, leave it a like, and if you're new, go ahead and subscribe. But for now, this has been Tyssassin, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Meanwhile, across town, in this less than fashionable cubbyhole of the San Francisco Examiner, these editors are programming today's copy of the paper into that same Ohio computer.